Hello everybody. For the 10th video in this series, I wanted to do something special. This is something I've been holding off on for a while. This video really gets to the issue of intentionality, which is something I haven't discussed directly, at least. I believe that this goes a long ways towards showing that the state intentionally targeted Antonio Sledge from the start, that they wanted to get these ridiculous factual acknowledgments into his plea agreement, and that they did so in an underhanded way. And to sort of contextualize that, I'm going to start with this excerpted clip from Antonio Sledge's probation revocation hearing, in which Judge Whitaker makes a certain assumption that's not unreasonable, but let me just show it and you'll see what I mean.
You maintain that the two of you both missed the fact that you signed, or your client signed, a factual acknowledgement that included item number 8.
Correct.
And then when Ms. Love read it out orally in the court, and Mr. Sledge, one by one, said, yes, I acknowledge that.
Ms. Love read it out, and Mr. Sledge, one by one, said, yes, I acknowledge that. I'll just play that little part. That's the important segment.
Read it out orally in the court, and Mr. Sledge, one by one, said, yes, I acknowledge that somehow that didn't occur to you at that point in time either. So I understand what the assertion is.
If you've seen videos 1 through 9 in the series, you might be able to infer where I'm going with this. But let me give you a little bit of factual background first. There were 8 guilty pleas entered in December of 2022 in the YSL case. Antonio was one of them, and there were 7 others. One of the other 7 was Antonio Sumlin, and a lot of his stuff just isn't available. So I'm excluding him for purposes of this discussion. We don't know what his factual acknowledgments were, so I can't really do an analysis of them. So that leaves us with 7 people from December of 2022 who had guilty pleas in YSL with factual acknowledgments. And I have all 7. I left the names out of everybody but Antonio's because the last thing I need is people trying to get into snitching discussions about factual acknowledgments, as has happened repeatedly in this case. But here we are. This is the first one. This is the first guilty plea hearing transcript that we're going to look at, the first of the 7. And this is just an example. Do you understand that some of the factual acknowledgments that you acknowledge is 1, that YSL is an organization? Then answers, yes. Do you acknowledge that you were one of the founding members of YSL? Yes. Do you acknowledge that this is identifying, so I left it out. Do you acknowledge that you committed an ag assault as alleged in count blank of this indictment? Yes. Do you acknowledge that blah, blah, blah? So it is a line by line, one by one confirmation of the factual acknowledgments to make sure that everybody is clear. Everyone's on the same page. This is really important stuff. You can get your probation revoked if these are messed up. Number 2. Same thing. This is Simone Hilton this time. Do you acknowledge that some of the identifiers of YSL are wearing green? That's only one identifier, but the answer is yes. Wearing clothing with the words YSL or slime? Yes. Wearing a pendant or pendants displaying the letters YSL or the word slat? Yes. So again, one by one acknowledgement. Number 3. This is the prosecutor speaking, I'm going to go through those acknowledgments with you just today. Just confirm that these are the acknowledgments you made, all right? Yes, number 1, YSL is a gang. Is that your acknowledgement? Yes. So the specific point, as the prosecutor is acknowledging, I'm not sure which one this is to make sure that you have it right. And they're going through one by one because it's very important. Number 4. As a special condition, you agree to testify truthfully. In particular, you will testify that you are a blank. Yes. that you became associated with and or affiliated with YSL in year blank at this age? Correct. You'll testify if asked that on blank, blank, blank? Yes. You'll further testify, again, line by line, to confirm each and every one. It's important. We want to make sure we get it right. Number 5. Additionally, as part of this agreement, you make the following acknowledgments: that all of the following statements are truthful. Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that the statements are truthful. Okay? Yes, ma'am. I became affiliated with YSL blank. Is that true? Yes. YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. Yes, ma'am. So again, number 5, one by one, line by line, very sensible. Makes perfect sense to go through them one by one. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Number 6, this one they didn't actually read out the acknowledgments out loud, or the full text of the acknowledgments. They just went through them like by number 4A2, 4A3, but it's the same idea. Do you acknowledge that 4A2 is truthful? Yes. Do you acknowledge that 4A3 is truthful? Yes. 4A4, yes. 4A5, yes. So although Love's not reading the full text, it's the same idea. So 1 through 6 all have that kind of one by one acknowledgement of each factual acknowledgement and confirmation that Judge Whitaker was assuming happened in Antonio Sledge's case. It's a very reasonable assumption because it always happens every single time. Antonio Sledge. This is number the 7. This is the 7th of the 7. Not in terms of sequence. I think he was the 6th out of 7 in terms of sequence. This is Adrian Love speaking, Attorney Love. Have you initialed each and all of the defendant's factual acknowledgments contained within Section 4? Just talking about them collectively. Yes. And is that initial AS your initial? Yes. A stands for Antonio, by the way, not Anthony. I have a whole video about that. The factual acknowledgments are as follows. Number 1. Young Slime Life, aka YSL, is an organization, blah, blah, blah. Number 2, defendant has been a member and or associate. 3, while searched with YSL and to support and express loyalty to YSL. Number 4, on about April 28th, 2015. Number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. All in a row. Did not go line by line. Then at the very end says, Mr. Sledge, have you had an opportunity to go over each one of the defendant's factual acknowledgments and make corrections where necessary? Antonio Sledge, yes. So, for some reason, I've already accused them. I think it's clear why they were doing this. For only Antonio Sledge, they didn't do a line-by-line reading. Okay, just for the sake of completeness, I'll show you the video of what I just read, just so you can see it. I played at 1.5 speed to get through it a little bit faster.
Defendant's factual acknowledgments contained within this plea agreement. Section 4, defendant's factual acknowledgments. Have you initialed each and all of the defendant's factual acknowledgments contained within Section 4 of this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that initial AS your initial?
Yes, ma'am.
The factual acknowledgments are as follows. Number 1, Young Slime Life, aka YSL, is an organization made up of 3 or more members or associates who share common identifiers that include, but are not limited to, colors, hand signals, and terminology, who have committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL. Number 2, defendant has been a member and or associate of YSL since 2012. Number 3, while associated with YSL and to support and express loyalty to YSL, defendant and co-defendant Demikion Garlington and Quindarius Zachary appeared in a video with another person, AS, where defendant brandished a weapon used in a drive-by shooting, and where on behalf of YSL, defendant threatened to harm a person named Kale, a rival gang member who had begun a relationship with defendant's ex-girlfriend. Number 4, on or about April 28, 2015, as reflected in Fulton County Indictment 15SC 138994, defendant and fellow YSL associates Demekion Garlington and Quindarius Zachary committed a drive-by shooting using the firearm defendant wielded in the video.
I have a lot to say about her characterization, but that's a topic for another time. My silence should not be taken as acceptance or agreement with any of these things being said. I do not acquiesce at all to any of these things, but I'm going to stop saying that now. You guys probably can guess that I would say that.
Referenced in Part 3 of this section, targeting family members of a rival gang. Number 5, defendant and his fellow YSL associates committed the drive-by.
All right, I can't help myself. One more thing. That's not even the state's theory of the case back in 2015. The lead prosecutor was Charlie Bailey. That was not the state's theory of the case. So that's not even there. That's not even Fulton County's theory. That's just entirely made up.
Shooting referenced in sections 3 and 4 above on behalf of YSL and to increase the notoriety, reputation, and fear of YSL. Number 6, defendant admitted committing and was convicted of aggravated assault and participation in criminal street gang activity, among other charges, for his participation in the drive-by shooting referenced in sections 3, 4, and 5 above. Number 7, defendant was told by another YSL associate that immediately after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates met at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, to discuss the murder. Number 8, defendant personally knows that one or more YSL associates committed the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. on behalf of YSL. Number 9, on January the 10th, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., defendant and other YSL associates gathered at the home of Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, who gave defendant and other YSL associates cash money to lay low. Number 10, defendant has personal knowledge that on January 10th, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates traveled to Miami, Florida with co-defendant and YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. Number 11, defendant did not murder Donovan Thomas Jr. and was not a party to the crime. Number 12, defendant did not murder Shamel Drinks and was not a party to the crime. Number 13, defendant cannot truthfully assert that the persons charged in this
Okay, I'm fine with 11 and 12. Those two are true.
indictment with the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. are not guilty of the murder, and defendant will make no attempt at trial, prior to trial, or after trial to exonerate the persons charged in this indictment with the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. Number 14, the gas station at 151 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia is one of multiple locations where YSL associates sell drugs and do not allow other gangs to operate. Number 15, the gas station at 221 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia is another location where YSL associates sell drugs and do not permit other gangs to operate. Number 16, defendant has personal knowledge that he and other members or associates of YSL have either participated in or directly committed at least one of the following crimes in order to increase the notoriety and reputation of YSL: murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault, attempted murder, theft, illegal gun possession, and illegal drug possession and sales. Mr. Sledge, have you had an opportunity to go over each one of the defendant's factual acknowledgments and make corrections where necessary?
Yes.
And do you now acknowledge under oath that each of the factual acknowledgments that you have initialed in this section are...
I'm going to have several more videos on the time to review, opportunity to make changes, but for this video, I'm just going to keep it to the reading of all of them in a row without confirmation line by line, just for purposes of length. And I guess real quick, I will go back and show the first video that I showed, so you can listen to what was said initially one more time. Yeah, this will do. Josh Johnson, great, by the way. It's one of my favorite routines of all time. Mostly because it's not even really a comedy routine. It's just him saying what happened and then people laughing. Oh, my goodness. Okay, here we go.
Different ways, but I understand what you're saying.
And just so
You maintain that the two of you both missed the fact that you signed, or your client signed, a factual acknowledgement that included item number 8.
correct.
And then when Ms. Love read it out orally in the court, and Mr. Sledge, one by one, said, yes, I acknowledge.
One by one.
And Mr. Sledge, one by one, said, yes, I acknowledge that somehow that didn't occur to you at that point in time either. So I understand what the assertion is.